Hello everyone, it is I, Shiva, and I must admit, right off the bat, I'm not feeling great. And I'll try and tell you why in this video. However, I might not even upload this video, it just depends, Basically, I wanted to tell you a bit about how this Sadiq Khan news has been affecting me. Because it has been affecting me. It's kind of really annoying actually that this has come up at this specific time, because I was just at the end of my campaigning, and you may have seen the long video that says at the end of LC UK, and I want to actually commit to that, because it really does feel like this is dragging me down now. Like all the different arguments in the cannabis sphere for prohibition, class A, decriminalization, legalization, the health harms of cannabis, psychosis, what else? Or the fact that most people who use it don't get psychosis. All of these different arguments are now happening a lot in the news, in the newspapers and on, news websites and stuff. And some of it's really toxic. There was a quote from one, I think it was GB News, who was saying, "I don't want to live in a paranoid, schizophrenic, stinking, cannabis-infused hellhole." Lazy, as well, was part of that. And it's just, oh man, the British press is a bit disgusting in how they've treated this subject, and it's starting to get me down. Obviously, I still want the legalization. I would accept the decriminalization of small amounts if they actually did it. But literally, my brain is just full at the moment with all these cannabis related arguments. And it's going round and round in my head, and I don't know how to get it out of my head other than to do a video about it. So I think it's because I made my whole life about this channel for a while, and the channel is all about legalization of cannabis. So I've done loads and loads of looking at articles online, web research, trawling through X to find information about cannabis, studies and all this. And it's just saturated my brain to the point where I can't think about anything else, and it's really odd and slightly disturbing. Like I said, this is a mental health issue now. So the mental health issue I'm having is I've become addicted to the topic in my brain of cannabis legalization. Literally, it won't come out of my brain, and I've got a bit of a strange headache feeling at the moment. It's not very nice. So I want to reaffirm my commitment that I'm not going to be campaigning on this issue anymore, precisely because of this saturation in the mind. I need it to get out of my head, and to put it in its proper place in my life, which is one thing among many interests. And so I'm just really wanting to put it back to bed, the cannabis legalization topic, put it back to bed for a while. And the only thing about that is that with this Sadiq Khan news coming out, I have this feeling that this one's going to continue to go on for a while. There is going to be more news about this. There are going to be more articles campaigning either for or against decriminalization or legalization or prohibition and whatnot. So there is going to be more news about this, which in a way is really good because it gets the debate out there. It helps people in the public to inform their own opinions. But when some of it's just so toxic, it's a bit nasty. I read the headline of a Telegraph article the other day that said, "Cannabis killed my son." I couldn't read the whole article because it was behind a paywall, but I just thought, cannabis killed your son. Is that really likely? Are people just blaming cannabis for everything these days, you know? Just blame cannabis because, oh, it's a scapegoat. We can blame it for things that go wrong in society and say, oh, it's because of cannabis. Everything's to do with cannabis, the big bad cannabis. I don't know, maybe cannabis did kill that person's child, but I don't know how. And did it do it directly? I mean, suicide maybe from addiction, but is that cannabis really killing someone? It's not, is it? It's someone else, it's someone killing themselves. So, cannabis killed my son. And they're using that as an argument to say no to decriminalisation. But it's like, even if it was from addiction to cannabis, a better way would be if it was legalised and then people would feel more free and able to go and get help for addiction treatment, which they don't feel able to at the moment because it would bait them out as to being a cannabis user, which is illegal. So people are afraid of getting into trouble with the law if they go and seek help for their addiction problems. So that argument, you know, if you want to make cannabis safer, you should legalise it. That is the key argument. So yeah, it's getting toxic out there because some of the right-wing, I guess it's right-wing newspapers and press and online news outlets have really jumped on this as a definite no, reject it, trash it, destroy it to pieces idea, you know, destroy the decriminalisation idea. We don't want to turn into New York or California or Canada or Uruguay or Malta or Luxembourg or South Africa. We don't want to have all their horrible problems that are to do with the legalisation or decriminalisation of cannabis. You know, so it's a bit much. And like I was saying, in a way, this was what I was hoping for, to get debate. I asked for this a long time ago. In one of my videos, I was calling out for more discussion and more awareness of medical cannabis as well. And yeah, more discussion around this topic is supposedly a good thing for the campaign. But because I don't want to be campaigning about it anymore, it's a bit much. And I'm trying to figure out when the end of this video is. I thought I'd go for an hour and talk about this for an hour until it gets out of my head. So yeah, the other aspect is, on this channel anyway, I wanted it to start being more of a pure comedy, art and music channel, which is what I started off doing before I got into cannabis legalization campaigning. So I'm an artist, I'm a musician, and I used to do stand-up comedy as well, so I've got the comedian thing in me as well. So, you know, that's the direction that this channel is going to be going in, and I've been trying to push it in that direction, but I keep getting cannabis stuff coming at me. And it's quite hard because I've built up like a channel and a TikTok and an X all around cannabis, and people kind of want me to do this. So it's a real headfucker at the moment because I just have had enough of it entirely. The word cannabis is pissing me off. Just the word in my head. Oh, cannabis, 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 cannabis. Oh my God. What a word. The word itself can be addictive, you know. I'm addicted to cannabis. Really? I thought cannabis wasn't that addictive. Yeah, no, I'm addicted to the word itself. It just goes round and round and round in my head. Cannabis, cannabis, cannabis. I'm getting hot in here. Whoops, and sweaty. Yeah, so how are you? That's me. I'm mentally challenged by this whole cannabis legalization, decriminalization debate. I don't want to do it anymore, but I may have to accept that it could be part of the things that I do. I just don't want to do it as every single thing on this channel as a video. So I think that about summarizes where I'm at. Like I said, it's just a personal video really. It's not about anything other than my own brain problems at the moment. So I just wanted to kind of come on and let you know that this is driving me a bit nuts, and I will put it into the correct proportion, and I guess I'm gonna have to manage like how much of this cannabis topic I talk about, because it is going to be in the news, I feel, a lot now. You know, one person's going to have said something about it, and then someone else wants to say something about it, and then someone else wants to say something about it, and it's going to quite possibly be the deciding factor in a future government decision. I think this Sadiq Khan recommendation is big. It's the biggest thing that's happened in the UK news around this for a long time, and as such, people are going to be making a fuss out of it. They've already started making a fuss out of it, and that's possibly because the public has said 54% of the public have said yes to decriminalisation in some form from YouGov, a poll. So the public actually overall, majority speaking, wants decriminalisation. So the public are also people like journalists. So there are going to be journalists who want to talk about decriminalisation and legalisation. But for someone who doesn't want to be campaigning on it anymore, that stuff's just going to keep hitting my feeds in my fucking Google feed even is full with it at the moment. You know that when you open up the homepage on Google, you get those news articles coming through. Well, it's something cannabis is on there every fucking day at the moment, which is good for the campaign, but bad for my mental health, because my mental health is saying you've got some kind of form of OCD developing about this now. You can't stop thinking about it. I need to stop thinking about it. I think that might be it. If I've gone silent in my brain, that could be the end of the video. So thanks very much for watching. I've overdumped, I've outdumped, I've brain dumped. What's the right word? I've dumped my brains into a video, and yeah, there seems to be no more cannabis word in there at the moment, so that's good. All right, people. Yeah, thanks for bearing with me on this. So if you want a summary of this, I will be trying to put cannabis legalization into its correct place in my life, which is one of many interests rather than being the driving interest. So that's the summary. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Good night.